centennial celebration only comes around once. And I kept hearing, I didn't know that. I didn't know the University of Baltimore did that. Oh, that person graduated from the University of Baltimore. It became clear to me that we were a hidden gem. We want people to know what we've done in the past, what we're doing now, and what we intend to do in the future.
Baltimore, 1925, a city teeming with life, ships, trains, storefronts, businesses large and small, working at a pace perhaps unmatched by any other city in the mid-Atlantic. Everywhere you look, things are growing. Commerce is driving the city, but Baltimore is holding on to its strong roots as a community of neighborhoods, families, and traditions. Through wars, hard times, the Great Fire of 1904, the city is scarred but unbroken. And then there are the people. Baltimoreans in the 1920s painted a portrait of an America on the move, ambitious, freewheeling, determined to be better than ever. But how to sustain it? A group of business and civic leaders have an answer. After months of conversations, they settle on the idea of opening a private university. It's to be a place where young, striving folks can learn about business and the law. What better way to prepare the workforce of tomorrow? And what do they call this new place? It has to be the University of Baltimore. With the city's name right up front, there's no question what the institution is all about and who it is for. That first semester, in October 1925, we opened our doors to a few dozen students who took their classes while often holding down a job and taking care of their family. That's how you get ahead, then and now.
University of Baltimore has been a staple, an anchor institution in our community for 100 years. Can you believe it?
A lot of these students are first time in their family. I was one, my uncle was one. They were the first members of their family to go to college.
So when I started at the University of Baltimore, I had just gotten an AA degree, and I was a single mother of two. I met a professor, and her name was Professor Nix. And she believed in me so much that she did not let me limit myself. That is what inspired me to continue my education, as well as to push forward and to educate others.
We have people who are coming from their jobs, continuing their education, and then going home, and many of them have children. We have a very different student population than other universities in the system, and we're very proud of. Our students come here to improve their lives and their families' lives, and we deliver.
While it's true that the University of Baltimore is 100 years old, the depth of experience among its leaders far exceeds that number. From its earliest days, the university has been home to presidents, deans, faculty, and staff who not only believed in good teaching, they also saw the university as part of the city around it. Central to the institution's mission was this goal: let's make Baltimore an ideal place to live and work.
People find their way to this school and they fall in love. I've taught at a few other universities before I got here, and I've never felt community like I feel here.
I've traveled all over the world, but no place says home to me like Baltimore. And that home is facilitated by knowing that UBALT is here.
The institution's home moved around the city center a few times, eventually settling in at the corner of Charles Street and Mount Royal Avenue shortly after World War II. Its leaders made sure that it stayed true to the vision of its founders. In the school's 1933 yearbook, Howell King, one of the university's founders and its second president, wrote, "I sincerely wish that every one of you meets a success in his or her career inasmuch as the success of the student will mean the success of the alma mater." The university's early years saw remarkable growth. President King, for example, inspired increases in enrollments and the expansion of programs in spite of the headwinds of the Great Depression. Just 10 years after its founding, the university had nearly 1,000 graduates. In the first decade of the 21st century, President Robert Bogomolny oversaw the completion of a new center for the teaching of law. He also opened up the campus to a 4-year program after many years as an upper division school. But one president, Meb Turner, really shines.
President Meb Turner was very active in the community, not only as an education leader, but a civic leader.
Meb spent more than 30 years as president, transforming the university from a workaday school to one with zeal for sports, technology, social impact, and socializing. That's right, UBALT students could keep up with their counterparts. The campus was a hotspot for dancing, theater, art, and even movies. America's high priest of underground film, John Waters, debuted many of his early films at our library. President Turner also saw college athletics as a way to move ahead. UBALT covered the field literally: golf, football, baseball, basketball, lacrosse, and more. While those sports had a lot of good years, it was soccer where we really made our mark.
A lot of great soccer players came out of Baltimore, and that was a great soccer time. Dr. Turner was one of the best, for sure. A lot of guys on the team he knew personally. He would talk to, he would ask how we're doing in school. The best thing that ever happened to me was getting my degree here. It opened doors up for later on down the road.
Baltimore, 2025. My, oh my, so much has changed. But it's still a city of neighborhoods and still on the move. These days, Baltimore is a place where carving out your niche takes a bit of doing. It's the age of specialization, the era of the curated career. People change jobs far more often than they did back in the old days. You can take what you've learned in your years on the job and turn that into something completely new. Life is full of possibilities and potential. At our university, we help bring that potential to life.
I was the chief prosecutor. In the courthouse, you couldn't walk one floor without meeting somebody who had graduated from the University of Baltimore. I mean, all the judges, so many people in the state's attorney's office, public defenders. I always say then that, we are the university for Baltimore as well as the University of Baltimore.
I consider myself an ambassador for the university. Beyond mentoring, I give my students real connections to the publishing world, real connections to the film world, and some of them lessons that I always needed when I was starting out my career.
You're constantly getting feedback from peers and instructors, and that was the thing that really made me feel as if I was finding my tribe. My husband was at the law school, and he could come out knowing how to practice the law. I could come out knowing how to be a writer.
Some universities shy away from saying they're career-oriented, but we're kind of proudly that, and we emphasize our slogan of knowledge that works. We want people to know that coming to the university is going to have a tangible benefit for them and their families.
For a century, the people at this university have been driven to know more, do more, and give more. So while the city evolves around us, the University of Baltimore is where we continue to turn for intelligence, insight, and a better understanding of the human condition.
Sometimes people come to the archives to find the information, but I can see they are looking for themselves or finding themselves in their community in the past.
No other university in the University of Maryland system has the breadth and scope of it. And the majority of them deal with post-World War II Baltimore.
I want to preserve it. I want to make sure that this is going to be accessible in 50 years.
I think that looking at the past is a good way of looking into the future. It can inspire hope in someone. Looking at how things change over time can show you how things will continue to change in the future.
We're the holders of a wealth of knowledge about this city, its roots, and the folks who have left their mark on it. We're educators, bringing our real-world expertise into classrooms where every voice is heard and every idea is explored. We're a powerful network of alumni stretching out from Baltimore across Maryland and into cities and towns that span the globe. We're respectful of others, generous, and eager to lift up our friends and neighbors. Mostly, we're all students, the carriers of the torch that light the way into the unknown. Together, we are lifting up the University of Baltimore from its proud past and into its bright future.
What we're trying to do in our centennial year is to tell our story more, to let people know that we don't want to be Baltimore's best kept secret.
If it weren't for the University of Baltimore, we wouldn't have a lot of business leaders, political leaders. A lot of the graduates here stay in the community and they work for the betterment of the community.
We have a lot of involvement with many aspects of the city, and we try to solve problems. We've been involved in a program to give returning citizens, men and women coming out of prison, a second chance. And particularly, we have a degree granting program in Jessup Correctional Institution. They go back into the community and they're going back to give something and not to take.
It's not just that you come to the university, you graduate, and you close that door. I find that the continuation of the community has been really, really strong.
If you told me I could go to any university to live back my time, I wouldn't change anything. My goal when I came here was to get a degree and win a championship ring, and I accomplished both.
And I think that's what we do at the University of Baltimore. We dream, then we tackle it. And that's why I love it so much here.